Hey lovelies, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to do this sexy pumpkin top. This is how it looks up close, and here are what you're gonna need. Two different colored yarns. I'm using orange and black because it's pumpkin themed. You can use whichever color combinations that you'd like. Also a 3.5mm crochet needle, a pair of scissors, measuring tape, sewing pins, tapestry needles, and crochet markers. Start by doing 25 chain stitches. This is perfect for sizes small to medium. If you'd like large or extra large, you may add 3 or 4 more chain stitches. And if you'd like extra small, then you would remove 2 or 3. It's fully customizable. When I do these 25 chain stitches, it measures 6 inches in length. Next, create an extra chain, and then you're going to do a half double crochet in the third chain space. Ensure that you insert the needle through the back loop or the top loop. So yarn over, you'll have 3 loops on the needle, yarn over, and then pull through all 3. You're going to continue doing a half double crochet in each chain space until you've reached the end. Now that the first row is complete, you're going to chain 1, flip your work, and then do a half double crochet in each chain space, ensuring that you do the half double crochet in the back loop only. So as you can see, just the back loop, and you continue all the way until you finish the end of this row. To begin the next row, chain 1, turn your work, and then do a half double crochet in the back loop of each chain space. So you can guess it, this is basically the pattern for the main part of the top. So you continue until you reach the desired width for your blouse. For me, I ended up doing 56 rows in total. Next, you're gonna grab your secondary color, in my case it's black, and I'm going to attach it to one of the wider sides of the top. So start as if you're doing a chain stitch, and then we're going to single crochet it onto the orange piece. So insert it onto the very last stitch in that row, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we're going to work in every other row. So you're going to do 2 single crochets in every other space. So 1 and then 2. Skip the next row and then do 2 single crochets in the following row. You're going to repeat this until you've completed this row. So skip and then do 2 single crochets in the next row. This is how it's looking so far, and now we're going to work on one of the shorter sides. So start by doing 2 single crochets in the very first chain space. Then you're going to chain 1 and skip the next space and go in the other. So skip and then do a single crochet in the following space. Chain 1 skip, and then do single crochet in the next space. You're going to continue doing that until you've completed this side of the shirt. Next, it's time to work on the bottom of the top. So chain 1, and then you're going to do 5 double crochets in the first row or first space. So yarn over, insert a hook, pull the thread through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. You're going to repeat that 4 more times. Then you're going to skip 1 row and then do a single crochet in the next space. So skip and then do a single crochet in the following row. Chain 1, skip, and then do 5 double crochets in the following row. Skip the following row and then do a single crochet in the other. Chain 1, skip the next row and then do 5 double crochets in the next space. You're going to repeat this until you've completed this side of the top. Now it's time to do the other short side. So start by doing 2 single crochets in the first chain space, chain 1, skip a stitch, and then do another single crochet. So this is the same as how we did it on the other short side. So just chain 1, skip a stitch, and then do a single crochet until you've completed that end. We're still working on the shorter side, so you're going to do 3 chains next, turn your work, and then do a double crochet in that very same chain space. Do 2 chains, then you're going to skip the next 2 chain spaces and do a double crochet in the 3rd chain space. Chain 2, skip 2, and then do a double crochet in the 3rd chain space. Chain 2, skip 2, and then do a double crochet in the 3rd chain space. You're going to continue until you finish this short side. Now that I've reached the end, I have 1 chain space left, so I'll just do a double crochet in that space instead of doing a chain 2 and double crochet because there's no more chain spaces left. So yeah, to close off, just chain 1 and then cut away the extra thread. Now we're gonna do the other side. Start by attaching more black yarn. So just as if you're beginning a regular row, then you're going to slip stitch onto one of the corners. From there, do 3 chains, and then you're going to do a double crochet in that very same chain space. Then you're going to do 2 chains, skip 2, and then do a double crochet in the third chain space. Chain 2, skip 2, then do a double crochet in the third chain space. So you just continue that pattern until you've completed this row. Just as how we ended with 1 double crochet in the last chain space on the other side, we'll do it here as well. Now it's time to do the eyes. Start by doing a magic circle. So I wrap the yarn around my index to ring finger twice and pull the back loop through the front loop. There are many different techniques on how to do this. This is just how I do it. So from there, I'm going to do 3 chains. So just yarn over from there and pull through. So that's 1, 2, and 3. This will act as your first double crochet, and from here you're going to do 9 double crochets. So in total it will be 10. After that, you're going to tighten the loop, then do a slip stitch onto the first double crochet or the top of that chain 3 in order to close off the circle. For the next row, chain 1 and then do 2 double crochets in that very same chain space. Then you're going to do 2 double crochets in each chain space until you've completed that row. In total, you should have 20 double crochets. Complete the row by doing a slip stitch onto the first double crochet in that row. Next, grab your crochet marker and place it in the 10th stitch. This will mark half of the circle. Next, you're going to chain 1 and then do 2 double crochets in that same chain space. In the following space, you're only going to do 1. So for this row, you're increasing in every other chain space until you've reached the halfway mark. So 1 double crochet in this stitch, then the other you do 2 double crochets. Next one, 1 double crochet, the other 2 double crochets. Once you've reached the stitch marker, you're going to remove it and then do 2 double crochets in that very same chain space. Chain 1 and do 2 more double crochets in the same space. From here, you're going to continue doing an increase in every other stitch until you've reached the last. Now that there's only 1 chain space left, I'm going to do 2 double crochets in that very same space, a chain 1 and 2 more double crochets in the same space. After that, just slip stitch onto the first double crochet just to close off the row. To tie it off, do a chain 1 and cut away a good amount of yarn. You're going to leave enough to use it to sew the eye onto the top. Then you're going to repeat the very same steps to create another one. After that, it's time for the attachments. So start by folding the top in half, and then you're going to use a crochet marker to identify the middle. This is just going to be a little marker for us to make sure that the distance between the eyes are equal and it's centered. Play around with the positioning of the eyes until it's to your liking. Then you're going to grab your sewing pins and just use them to hold them in place while you sew it down. Next, we're gonna thread the excess yarn from the eye through one of our tapestry needles. Then we're just gonna do some basic stitches around the circumference of the eye, just to stitch it onto the top. Once that's complete, it's time to tie away the extra yarn. So at the back, you just run your needle through a little portion, as you see me doing here. Then you're going to do it again, very same spot, and once more, but this time you're going to wrap the yarn around the top of the needle 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3, and just pull the needle through. Cut away the excess thread, and then you're going to sew on the other eye. Just a few more steps to go. Now we're on to the lashes. You're going to start by doing 7 chains. Make sure that you leave extra thread at the beginning of the chains. Once that's complete, you're going to attach it to the outer corner of one of the eyes by using a slip stitch. Slip stitch into the next chain space, and then you're going to chain 5. Pull out some extra thread and then cut away the rest. Play around a bit with how you want the lashes to fall. Then you're going to use the crochet needle, place it under the top and push the hook up, pulling through that excess thread. We're going to add another eyelash on this side by doing 4 chains. Remember, leave extra yarn at the beginning. Then slip stitch it in front of the others. Chain 1 and then cut away the extra yarn. Use a crochet needle to pull the excess thread to the back of the top. The threads at the back can be secured by sewing them down, just as how you saw me do it with the eyes. But because I'm lazy and this top is for me, I'm just going to tie these knots together and cut away any extra thread. Next, it's time for the eyebrows. You're going to start by doing 7 chains. Just as before, leave a little extra at the beginning. And the chain 7. Pull out extra thread and cut away the rest. Then you're going to play around with the positioning of the eyebrows. Do it to your liking. And from there, you're going to use the crochet needle to pull the ends around the back. Tie the excess thread together around the back, or you can sew them down, and you're going to repeat the same thing on the other side so that you have 2 brows. If there are any threads hanging at the sides, just use the tapestry needle to sew them in between stitches to hide them. The last thing that you need to do is do about 200 chains. This is going to be used as the lace for around the back. And that's it. You just lace it and it's ready to be worn. And this is the finished product. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're interested in learning how to do the matching thong, I have a crochet lingerie tutorial that I posted. It's the same, nothing has changed. The only thing I did was use black for the straps. But you can definitely check that out, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye!